We have a great show lined up, but first let's take a turn to our elections corner, where Channel 8's Colby Miller and Chase Swenson have the scoop on K-State elections.
All right, thank you so much, Brandon, Margot. Welcome to the Elections Corner. We have had quite a week in the SGA world. My name is Colby Miller.
That's right, and I'm Chase Swenson. We're excited to bring you some of the news surrounding the SGA elections as they come to a close.
First and foremost, the SGA general election came to a conclusion last night at 6:00 p.m. Due to a recommendation by the SGA Student Tribunal, the election for student body president and vice president will begin today at noon, going until tomorrow, March 9th at 6:00 p.m.
That's right. The decision by the tribunal was announced on Tuesday night, concluding that the elections for president and vice president be held until Friday. Corbin Sedlacek, the elections commissioner, explained why this is happening.
There was last Thursday night, there was a complaint filed against one of the campaigns. Had a hearing on Friday. Then Monday morning at 7 a.m. we had another hearing for the same campaign. And then Monday evening we had a hearing for their campaign looking at the contribution expense reports and really taking the time to look those over and see the errors that one of the campaigns ended up having, and one had some accounting errors but not actual violations, except for the fact that they didn't submit all of the receipts necessary, or all the receipts that they had.
These complaints resulted in the public disqualification of the Roman Leverett campaign just one day before the elections were set to begin.
The two received word of their disqualification just before noon on Monday. The Roman Leverett campaign decided to file an appeal to overturn the ruling.
We were like, oh my gosh, like what's going to happen? But we learned that you can appeal for it. And there's different sections on how to appeal and what you're appealing as. So we decided to appeal as the punishment is too harsh. And so we wrote, you know, what we had to say, because at this hearing, it's by the Student Tribunal Board, and you can't be there, and you can't, I guess, represent yourself. So we wanted to at least explain like why we felt this way about like the punishment being too harsh. And we just waited until like we knew what happened with our future, and we got an email like around 12:40ish that same night, and found out that we had been allowed to be back on the ballot. So that's basically what happened.
Very emotional day for us in particular, and especially our teams. There was a lot of different emotions that was exhibited throughout that period from 11 o'clock till
12.
So 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Fortunately, they decided to move the election to Thursday and Friday, so that gives us a lot of help, because I think that flip around, or like that really quick turnaround of being disqualified and then being on the ballot, doesn't allow students to know that, hey, we're back, like gives a chance kind of thing. Yeah.
The SGA Student Tribunal released a statement following the Monday night hearing in response to the Roman Leverett disqualification. After reviewing the elections code, the Student Tribunal found that there was not sufficient evidence to find the candidates in violation. As such, the Student Tribunal overturns the decision to remove the Roman Leverett campaign from the ballot. They are reinstated as a president-vice president ticket for the elections.
The ruling also established the delay for the presidential and vice presidential elections, arguing that since the Roman Leverett campaign was publicly disqualified, the student body deserved more time to acknowledge the reinstatement of the campaign.
The other group running, of course, Jordan Keel and Vice President Lacey Pitts, see the extension as an unanticipated challenge, but remain optimistic.
The analogy I like to use is that it was like coming up for water when you're holding your breath, but then there's an extra foot. So we were ready to come up for that breath of fresh air, finish out election strong, and now we have another foot to get through. But you know, we're excited for tomorrow and just starting off and really doing all the same things that we've been doing for months, and just for an extra 2 days, which, grand scheme of things, isn't too bad.
Yeah, just more days to talk to students. So.
Despite the controversial ruling, both teams are eagerly anticipating the results of the election. The SGA is encouraging students to vote today and tomorrow with donuts at select polls.
The elections will end Friday night at 6:00 p.m. with the results following soon after.
That's all the breaking SGA news we have for you today. We hope you guys enjoyed us here today at the Elections Corner.
Tune in next week for the winners of the election, as well as a behind-the-scenes look at how the SGA operates. Let's give the ball back to you guys at the desk.